Hello, everyone.
Hey, welcome back.
Welcome back to another episode of our Communal Conversation series.
Yes, my name is Cynthia Wheeler.
And I'm Erica Middleton.
And we are your graduate assistants in the Office of the Dean of the Chapel. We are so excited. We are so excited.
Truly.
It is our last Black History Month installation for Communal Conversations. It's another special night. We have another prize that we are going to be able to give out tonight. But most importantly, we just have some of the most amazing students. I love these students. Truthfully, every time we get to talk to them, it's a new experience. Tonight, we are talking about HBCUs and their impact in America and just in the lives of these students. I'm so excited to talk to these students, including our special guest, who you will meet a little bit later. But now we're going to go ahead and introduce our Howard students, and here they are.
Hi, everybody. My name is Courtney Charles. I am a junior mathematics major, biology and business administration double minor from Long Island, New York. And I am here on behalf of chapel assistants and the flashy flags of Howard University.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Aman Lawal. I'm a senior architecture major from Nigeria, and I'm here on behalf of the Howard University Chapel Assistants.
And my name is Jada Milligan. I'm a junior computer information systems major with a minor, with a concentration in entrepreneurship from Atlanta, Georgia, and I'm the historian for the chapel assistants.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tyrell Powell. I'm a senior biology major, chemistry and psychology double minor from Queens, New York. And I'm grateful to be a part of this chapel assistants takeover.
Hi, everyone. My name is Chantel Williams. I am a junior health science major from Atlanta, Georgia, and I serve as the chapel assistant's second vice president.
Wow. Hi, everyone. It's glad to see you all. I do see we have a little bit of a chapel assistance takeover, as Tyrell said, but I'm glad to hear from you all, and I'm excited for the conversation. At this time, I ask you to get into your prayer posture and allow us to just have a moment to center ourselves as we continue to go deeper. God of justice, God of mercy, thank you for allowing us to come together today, another night where we can have conversation with our great student leaders about HBCU culture and the impact that HBCUs have had in America. Thank you for allowing us to have another opportunity. And we pray that our students will share what's on their hearts and on their minds. Thank you for the leadership of our institutions, and thank you for the leadership that continues to do great things. Thank you for our Dean Richardson, and thank you for everyone who is listening to us from across the country. We come to you now, and we are excited. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Thank you so much, Erica. We are ready to get into the conversation. So
let's do it.
Let's do it. Okay. We're gonna start with I guess we have our usual question. We just want to know from all of you, give us one word. How are you feeling? Let us know. Courtney, we'll start with you and we'll just go around. Amen. I'm in Jada. Yeah.
Stressed.
Okay.
Stressed is the word.
Stressed yet optimistic.
Yeah. I feel pretty content with life at the moment, but sometimes it can get overwhelming, but pretty content, pretty good.
Grateful.
I'm gonna go with tired.
That's understandable. Absolutely. You guys have had a range of experiences these past year, almost full year on online virtual instruction. It's been a ride, I'm sure, but we are really, proud of you all for pushing through and persevering. You're such resilient student leaders. So let's stay there a little bit with the tiredness and the stress that you've all been dealing with. So it's been almost a year in our virtual setting. What do you all feel like it's been like having, going to an HBCU and doing online schooling? What's that experience kind of been like for you all? And how have you all been managing dealing with, a variety of things with your home life and your schooling? What's that like? We can start with Chantel.
I think overall the virtual setting just it isn't the best, but also I think it's opened my eyes to new opportunities, saying like that HBCU isn't just the physical buildings or the events on campus, but it's also the people. So being virtual, you can connect more with your friends as far as like calling them and FaceTime and Zoom. Even though you can't see them face to face, I don't think you can get that experience, because some of my friends that go to PWIs, they have not talked to their friends in a year because they just haven't stayed connected, and I don't have that same feeling. So it's been difficult, but it's been pretty okay.
Wow, I'm really touched by what you said, how it's not just the building. It's, connecting with your friends in other ways and finding different ways to still interact and be in community with students. Let's ask Jada, how about you? How have you been dealing this semester?
This semester has definitely been interesting. I'm currently a business orientation assistant in the School of Business. So I've had to help out with like helping the incoming transfer students and freshmen that are coming to the School of Business, like acclimate to not even having been on campus and still try to get that camaraderie that we would get on campus. So it's definitely been an experience, and just expressing to them like, hey, you still have these opportunities to go to the virtual First Fridays or these virtual events, and just like seeing that being put on and seeing people still like actually strive to connect with each other. It's very like beautiful in my opinion, because at first I was like, oh, I don't think we're ever gonna like talk to each other again, but we're definitely making the effort and the strive to like do new things, play games with each other that we see. So yes.
I really like that, how we're still being able to make the effort to be with each other and still have events and, retain some semblance of normalcy in a time that's very unnormal, that does not have to be. How about you, Courtney? How have you been dealing with everything this semester and this year?
Well, virtual learning, of course, does have its challenges, especially with I feel like virtual learning has caused all of the students to feel like they've had an increased workload. Or maybe that's just me, but I just feel like virtual learning has been difficult in that aspect. And also with virtual learning, I've had virtual practice, which a lot of people have come to me and they're like, Courtney, what do you mean virtual practice? How are you still practicing at home? And I'm like, yeah, we all go on Zoom and we all dance together and we all practice together. We all march together. This is for the flashy flags, by the way. So it's like, virtual learning has definitely been difficult, but I feel like it has caused us to not exactly get out of our comfort zones, but it has put us into a more uncomfortable situation. And I feel like it's just teaching us how to maneuver. I feel like this is a big lesson, I guess, for all of us. And, yeah, basically that it's a big lesson, but, it's a good one. I think it's a good one.
I think I'm liking all the things that I'm hearing. You know what I'm saying? That the idea that you can still be connected and that you're actually learning lessons through this about how to kind of create this newness, like how to connect in a new way. And I just want to talk to you all a little bit about that very shortly. What does it mean for you all to connect in a new way with your peers? Like, what is that? What does that really look like? And beyond just like, text messaging, what has the experience been like for you to kind of discover this? Tyrell and I want to ask you guys this question. Yeah, what does it look like to discover connection in a new way like this?
I think this opportunity to be online, and I say opportunity because I think seeing the positives within all of our circumstances is probably best, and that's the way I'd prefer to look at things. And I would say, with that in mind, it really gives the opportunity to really slow things down and have opportunity to get to know people a bit better. So my experience, I wouldn't be able to have an hour-long conversation with a fellow chapel assistant over the phone if I were on campus, because I'd have to be here or there, million places at once. But I think being at home, now we can schedule a call and we can just got an hour straight, because we have a little bit more time. You don't have to factor in walking between classes and things like that. So just get to know people, get to pray with them. And it's been really fruitful for me in my relationships.
Excellent. What about
I guess to kind of echo on that, I want to say with the whole virtual atmosphere that we're in, personally, I want to say it's become a thing that that has like challenged my adaptability in like certain situations. And as far as like my connections to other people, kind of like similar to what Tyrell said, as far as like deepening that connection, it in a way allows you to, because you're not the only one going through like the challenges like of online learning and stuff, it allows you to like kind of it allows you to lean towards people like going through the same thing, because like nobody is alone in this. We're all going through this together. So in that kind of way, it just like helps you. It gives you the opportunity to not just grow by yourself, but to grow with other people and simultaneously grow a sense of community with one another.
I love that. Yeah, I'm so happy that we're all like just still growing and connecting together. I think that's important. And I think it's a wonderful thing that even in this virtual space, even though we're literally across the country, in some cases across the world from each other, but we're still actually growing together. And we recognize that it's not just happening, like we're actually reflecting and looking and seeing it happen. So we mentioned a little earlier, I'm sorry, I'm just getting really excited. We mentioned
Me too.
we have a special guest, you guys. Okay. We have a special guest, and he's been waiting so patiently in the background. We are excited to get him out here, but we have a small promo for you guys from the Alternative Spring Break. So check out this promo and stay tuned. When we get back, we're going to introduce another great student. Okay, we're just ready. Go ahead with the promo. Just go ahead.
Don't never stop if you want to be on top, yeah.
Low waist, fat, baby, tap in. Tap in.
Hey everyone, my name is Tori Lane.
My name is Janae Williams.
Hi, my name is Serena McMillian.
Hi, my name is April Coppage Calderon.
And I serve as one of the events coordinators. I serve as a site coordinator.
I serve as one of the event coordinators.
I serve as one of the events coordinators for this year's ASB experience.
We have 3 events lined up for this ASB week.
It's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday.
We can't wait to see you at every single event
to show you how the service is truly continuing.
Tap in.
Tap in.
Wow, it's time. It's time for our special guest. And without any further ado, here's Mr. Jordan Ray. Hi,
hey,
Jordan, introduce yourself.
Hey, how y'all doing? My name is Jordan Ray. I'm a graduating senior liberal studies major from York, Pennsylvania, and I'm currently the 19th Mr. Hampton at Hampton University.
Welcome. We're all excited to hear from you and see you tonight. We thank you for coming to come to our conversation tonight. Since you're our special guest, we have a, question for you, something that, can get us all thinking. So I know we had a little bit of a conversation before about what we're doing to build community here at Howard and what we're doing to, stay connected with each other. But I'm wondering what initiatives or what programs are at Hampton right now to, help students stay connected and help students stay in touch, and what ways, we can help as Howard students from where we are to connect.
So right now, it's funny you say that. I'm in the the Greer Dawson Wilson Student Leadership Training Program, and right now we are trying to create. We have like this HBCU games that we try to do, and we're trying to reach out to different HBCUs to try to play different interactive games. Whether it's I can't think of the name. it's like the Kahoots, like different Kahoot games, Jeopardies, things like that, Taboo, like all types of different games where people can just be connected. Because we know like it's virtual times, and it's like the time of Zoom. I probably click on to like 30 Zooms a week. So like we're definitely trying to find a way to kind of just keep that bond and fellowship going, because one of like the biggest things you get from an HBCU that I feel like it's been taken kind of from us due to COVID is that fellowship and the experience of being able to create those bonds with people around you. So the biggest thing we're trying to do is just try to make sure everyone's still connected, even though they're far apart, just kind of just, sit together. So.
Thank you. I like how you express that, this fellowship, that you're still trying to do, and we appreciate that. And if you ever need us to come through, just shoot us a message, because that sounds really fun.
Time for sure.
Absolutely. That's excellent. I'm excited. I can't wait for HBCU games to come out, and I'm hoping that everybody, at least on this panel, will participate. Because HBCUs, come on now. I love HBCUs. I think you grew up in Washington, D.C. Obviously, we have Howard right in Washington, D.C. I know I saw in the comments we have somebody from North Carolina. I'm going to actually shout out my friend Caleb is talking about Aggie Pride down here. Went to A&T. I know we have some other HBCU. Do we have an alum up here? But I know we have some Howard students. We have Inez. We have Olivia joining us from Baltimore. We're out here. And what does it mean for you all, especially as we're sitting up on this panel with obviously multiple HBCUs represented? What does it mean for you all to have a network, not just in Howard, but in other HBCUs as well? What is that? Yeah. What is that like? And we can start with Jada.
I think it's extremely important, especially last semester, because we were virtual. I had the opportunity to do a fellowship, and I got to one of my partners for the program. One of my partners for the program was from FAMU. And so just getting to meet all those different people, seeing like the different types of courses they have there, and just learning about the different experiences they're having being virtual. It's really nice being able to just, like HBCUs, you always want to get together. So it's nice being able to see other people from different campuses, because they make that intention to connect you all with each other. So it's definitely it's been very beneficial to me, because I get to meet some different people and like make friends.
Excellent. Let's go. Actually, we're going to go back to you, Jordan. Let's go back to you, Jordan, and answer that question. What is it like to have that network?
I think having that network is like huge, because like, and what I always like to say, like kind of why I chose my HBCU. We're not going to get into the real HU stuff today. I guess we could just let it go. I know. Is it 7 against 1? Yeah, I don't want no smoke today. But yeah, what I like to say is like when you go to an HBCU, that's like kind of like for 4 years. That's like the time that you're a majority. Like that's the time where you like you're just surrounded by all African American people for the majority, and it's like the one time where you can really embrace yourself. So when you meet other people and connect with other people from different HBCUs, you guys have that same like mind and like the same ideals, and you guys want to get to the same places and connect and kind of create that bond of we're living like the world of everything. It's like we're trying to get everything Black owned. So like why not try to connect with other schools and people other places to just create your bigger ideas and things like that. So I think having that network is huge, especially when you go to different conferences. You just talk about your experiences, talk about things you can do in the future. You might not know, you might find someone where you have like the same career path. So like it's just huge to connect and network with people no matter what.
I love that. Excellent. I want to hear from Tyrell. I feel like, I don't know, I'm just feeling like you have something to say, and I want you to throw in.
Absolutely. I must say that it's definitely a blessing where we all come for to culminate for a particular goal, which is serving our communities. I think what's impactful about HBCUs is, well, I can't talk down on any other school or really compare much. I've been to one college, but I'll just say I'm not leaving Howard with the major. I'm leaving with the responsibility. And I think that is the kind of sentiment that is repeated across HBCUs within this country. So I think that when you're able to connect with mission-minded people on a wherever you are, from state to state, there's something powerful to that, because as we get into our professional sectors, we're going to be the change makers, and we'll be able to make our families proud, our lineages proud, and really be able to do a lot for the Black youth that are coming after us. So since I've been in New York, I had the blessing to actually meet with the brother who studies at Oakwood University. And we got together and had a presentation on the power of networking that went to a group of Black students that were at a historically Black charter school in Philadelphia. So all over the map. And it's just really cool. Like our brother Jordan has said, that same mission, that same idea, that same responsibility to your community, it's essential that we get together from HBCU to HBCU to continue that.
I love that. Mission-minded people just getting together. That beautiful, beautifully put.
No, that's good. That's absolutely good. And I kind of want to stay there a little bit. I'm thinking about how in the fall, hopefully, with everything happening, the vaccine rollout, we'll be able to be back on campus in our respective campuses and do things. But as we know, we've had a whole group of students, a whole batch of students who have no concept of what it's like to be on campus and to be at our institutions. I'm wondering what ways and what things we can share with our students, you know, to get them ready. And what do you think is important and impactful about your experience that you'd want other students who will be coming to Howard or Hampton to know about our HBCUs and about our institutions? We can start with Iman.
I want to say, if anything, it's going to be difficult to capture that sort of essence, like in a virtual atmosphere. But at the same time, though, one thing that I have seen that can kind of recapture that is like taking advantage of like things like social media. If anything, it's more so about, in as much as like they can. Sorry, I'm trying to collect my thoughts.
We can give you a second to collect if you still need just a moment to reflect on that.
My fault. I'm gonna need a second.
Oh, it's no problem at all. How about Jada? Have you had any thoughts about how we, you know, pass on these traditions? I know you're not supposed to walk on the grass on the yard or something like that. How do we, you know, help our students who haven't had any concept of Howard or Hampton learn these things?
So I know for me, when we have something called team leader training, and we were trying to express to them like, oh, this would be what First Friday is. We have a building called Burr. We were doing like riddles and stuff. So when they were learning about these buildings, they were like, oh, you're just telling us about all these fun things that we can't do. But we were trying to express to them, like, we're trying to give you what you can look forward to, because we know we're going to get out of this. So just telling them like, hey, these are the things that you can do. These are like traditions you can implement. Like if you want to change something, like we just express to them that there's so much and so much potential when you're on campus, making sure to connect with people, making sure to go to Blackburn on First Friday and just chill and hang out on the yard, or go down to Banneker or anywhere, and just making sure to explore the area and take advantage of it when they can. So I think that's more so the importance. Yeah, sure, right now we're virtual, but even if you can't be on campus, just making sure to connect with people to see like, hey, when we get back on campus, let's link up and do this. So just making sure to like plan ahead and say, when I get on campus, I'm going to be all over the place.
I really like that, Jada. It's building a hope for a better tomorrow. A hope that we can all get back to something that's going to be great for all of us. I did want to return back to Iman and hear how, you know, he believes this can happen.
Yeah, thank you for that. I want to say, to kind of piggyback off of Jada, if anything, because of the fact that they might not be able to experience the campus at this current point in time, being able to connect with people who have had that experience is something that kind of bridge that gap. So in as much as like you can hear so much info, like so many stories from people about what they've experienced, like, oh, what's it like roaming around on the yard? Oh, what's it like being in that huge line at Blackburn or whatever? So it's like just little things like that, that in many ways, as much as like it can in many ways be a way for people to, for lack of a better word, be hyped up about like getting back to campus. So because like that's just the thing about it. Like as much as you get to hear about the good and maybe the good and the bad, and eventually experience it for yourself, but at the same time have almost a deeper connection to it, because you've like have had that like sort of precursor. So yeah.
Exactly. That experience is just so important. And I know students, HU24 and HU25 on the way, and we'll be so excited to have those experiences. How about you, Jordan? How do you handle this?
I would definitely tell them, sheesh, HU25 is crazy. That's why I feel old. But I would definitely like say for people coming on campus that really haven't had that experience yet, definitely the biggest thing is to get involved. You know what I mean? Get involved with your people, student leadership programs, just different organizations on campus, because that's where you'll find your best networks and get to know people. I feel like the people who may not have the greatest experiences aren't fully bought in. They're just kind of like off to themselves, or just not really want to get involved. I mean, I guess that's okay in a sense, but like you really will get the most out of your time by just going all out, just putting yourself out there and stepping outside of your comfort zone. Because that's kind of like essentially what college is for, like really finding yourself, finding what you really like to do, what you find your passions for. For example, for me, I was like student leadership programs, student government association, pre-alumni councils, mentorship programs. It was just like different ways I can just create new people, and kind of like Tyrell was talking about, like we are building this new generation of African-American youth. You know what I mean? That's kind of my platform too, Project Royalty. Building an empowering environment for our African-American youth, actually. And we are kind of like the makeshifters. We're the change makers for that. We're leading by example. So if we want them to be better than us, we have to show why, you know what I mean? So I definitely feel as if you're coming on the campus and you haven't been on campus yet, just one thing I can tell you to do is just put yourself out there, be involved, and step outside your comfort zone, because you will never know the opportunities that you may come through.
Absolutely. You definitely have to step outside your comfort zone. It's going to be a new experience for all of us returning back. So many of us will be pushed to, retain old traditions and create new ones. So how about you, Chantel? Do you have something to speak to that?
Yeah, I agree with everything that everybody else said, but I also think that it should be noted to go in with a blank slate, because I know for me personally, going to HBCU was not like my top choice. So I really wasn't looking at like YouTube videos of Howard or anything. So when I got to campus, I didn't have any expectations. So it was so much fun, like going to Res Fest and Spring Fest, because I didn't even know about Howard Homecoming before I came. So when I went there, I was like, wow, this is so much fun. But I think if you go, like a lot of people have Howard as their number one choice, and then they are disappointed because it didn't live up to YouTube videos or what their grandma said. I don't think you should have expectations, like high expectations. I just think you should go and experience for yourself and make it your own, if that makes sense.
I love that. And I think that definitely, even just speaking to what Erica had, just said about creating new traditions, how we're going to, that's part of that. When we walk back into the campus, all of us are actually going into a new space. Even the ones who've been there before, we're all coming back into a new space. And part of creating community is creating that new culture together. So what are we about to do together when we get back to campus? And, I'm excited. I'm also excited because we have a break coming up. But you guys, I will say, we're about to do a quick break. We'll have a song, but we have a trivia question that we have to ask you. This trivia question, okay, you guys, you have the opportunity to win a $25 e-gift card to Sankofa Bookstore. Sankofa Bookstore is a local Black-owned bookstore in Washington, D.C. They have a great amount of books. They also have a cafe if you're able to actually be in DC. And when you are able to get back, I would recommend going and visiting. The sandwiches are delicious. But yes, we are going to ask you this question. If you can answer this first in the comments, you will get a $25 e-gift card. So can you figure out who this person is? I'm going to ask you the question, and then we're going to go on break. You all, we will see you in a minute, okay? But here's the question. Listen closely. This Howard alumnus and New Jersey native holds graduate degrees from Yale and Michigan State University. He's held tenure at multiple institutions and is the creator of HU's premier service program. His work in religion, education, and mental health has earned him the Crystal Apple Outstanding Educator Award, a spot on the DC Commission on the Arts and Humanities, and induction into the Washington, D.C. Hall of Fame. Who is he? Okay? Answer that question. And when we come back, well, at the end of the show, we'll announce the winner. But when we come back, we will have more great conversation. And then we'll announce the winner, and somebody's going to win a $25 gift card. So,
excited.
Okay. I know somebody's going to win. Okay. We will see you in a minute.
Cheer somebody with a word or song. If I can show somebody he is traveling wrong, then my living shall not be in vain. If I can do my duty as a Christian ought, if I can bring back beauty to a world around, if I can spread love's message that the Master taught, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not be in vain. If I can help somebody as I pass along, then my living shall not be in vain. Then my living shall not
Hi, you guys. Welcome back. Okay, we're excited because we have some great audience questions. Okay, we're gonna ask some audience questions. Also, we want you all to keep asking audience questions because we will ask these students. And I know that we're getting a little late on time, but we're still gonna ask a couple questions. Okay, so we have an audience questions from StayFlow09. If I'm pronouncing that correctly. The question is, why HBCUs in this current movement? Are they outdated and are they diverse? Can somebody answer that question for me? Who feels led? Tyrell, go ahead.
I think that's an interesting question. So they say, are HBCUs outdated? Well, are PWIs outdated? I expect that Harvard is probably going to be there for about another 500 more years. So Howard could be there for another 500 more years too. So I think higher level academia is something that is valued within this country, and institutions that will propagate such learning should continue to stay here. And I think that they should continue to stay true to their missions for having a space by which people can come together and seek higher learning will always be appropriate as long as we're here. So I would say no, HBCUs aren't outdated, and I don't think that HBCUs will ever be outdated. And I would say, if anything, looking to the most utopian kind of society idea that I can think of off the top of my head, I think that they would have to continue to stay, because if they were to stay, that would be a sign of perhaps even greater equality if all the opportunities were equal at all institutions, just off the top of my head. But I would say, so yes, HBCUs are still very much needed, but within this particular context, this particular societal context as well, where why HBCU, I think that this is a wonderful time. I would like to paraphrase something that Dean Richardson always says, where he talks about how like this is the time is now, and you have to constantly ask yourself, why me in this moment? And I would say for us, for the Black collective in this particular time, we have a lot of momentum. We're fighting for a lot. We're standing for a lot, as we always have been. But there are particular times in history, and this is one of those unique times where it seems like the actual zeitgeist of the people is that of social justice. And I think that being that we're all in one accord with this in mind, while we at the same time have just had this big accomplishment with an HBCU and the HBCU alumnus in the White House, I think that this is a wonderful time to ride the wave of the Black excellence that has always been there. So that's all I have to say. It's good. So get in while the getting is good, and God willing, it'll stay good.
I love it. I'm sorry. I don't know. I kind of want to, Erica, can we move on? I mean, does anybody else want to answer that question? Because I feel like I think
he's yeah. Right. He got
Tyrell hit the nail on the head on that one. That was comprehensive.
No, go ahead, Chantel. If you want, sorry.
No. I agree with everything Tyrell said, but like to highlight the part of our HBCUs diverse, I think that's the biggest misconception about HBCUs, because there's so much diversity among Black people, as far as like not even just like international versus domestic, but literally people from New York, people from Louisiana, people from Atlanta, I didn't even know Black people lived in Wisconsin, but like there's so many different like cultures that you meet once you're at or any HBCU, and you learn about everybody's different background, and you learn that there's like different opinions about things, whether it's from food to politics, and it's like a very diverse experience. So when people are like, oh, I go to a PWI for diversity, do you really? Because normally when you go to a PWI, you hang around, if you're a Black student, you hang around Black students in the Black Student Union. So it's really not that diverse.
That's a reflection. I know Cynthia and I both went to PWI institutions, and I know we could share our experiences about that. But there's definitely such a rich diversity within Blackness. We're not a monolith, so we bring our experiences and we bring our different values with us to our HBCUs, and we make it rich and full. I did have one last question that I was reflecting on as I saw a statement from Andrea Davis. And it looks like it says, HBCUs are important, especially during the pandemic, because we are cultural holders and community builders, both on and off campus. So I'm wondering what it means for you all to be students in the time of this global pandemic, and also students who come in the legacy of those who have walked through our HBCUs, like Martin Luther King Jr. or Marion Wright Edelman, and all these amazing, impactful people who have held such great positions in our community. What is your experience like, just knowing you come from that lineage? And we can start with Courtney.
Well, similar to Chantel, when I was in high school, I didn't know much about HBCUs. Like that wasn't something that they, pushed towards us. They always told us about go upstate, go to a SUNY school, stuff like that. But I feel like it was my cousin's current wife, who had told me because she had went to Spelman and she was like, Courtney, you absolutely have to apply to a few HBCUs at least. And at first I was like, what's that? But then after she told me more about it, and she's the one who actually took me to Howard, so that I could visit during Bison Prep. And I just feel like after learning about the history and being around everybody, there's like such a large sense of community. And I don't know, I just feel like you can't, well, of course you can find groups of community anywhere, but I feel like HBCUs in general, they give you a certain, I don't know, they give you a community that's bigger than just you. Like, you're not only going to school for you, like, you're going to school for yourself, of course. You're going to school to educate others as well, because there are many other people who were just like me who didn't know much about HBCUs. And now, every time somebody's like, oh, where should I, HBCU, like, period. Like, anytime, I will always tell somebody, please go to an HBCU, because there are so many things that I've learned going to Howard about myself that caused me to grow as a person. And personally, I feel like I would not have, well, you know how they say every journey, well, like it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I feel like Howard has given me a pretty enriched journey, and I feel like every HBCU student can agree with me.
Absolutely. Just such a rich journey. And there's such a community and a legacy that comes from that. And how about you, Jordan? How have you felt this community and this legacy that we come from in these HBCUs? How has that affected you, and how you do things?
Really, I kind of like similar, like I'm a little different than Courtney a little bit. I came to Hampton my junior year of high school for high school day because my aunt went. And then I saw one on campus, and I was like, that's when I knew instantly, like, I had to go to HBCU. I just saw the vibes. And then I went to a private school growing up because I played basketball, like, growing up. So I was just kind of went to a college prep school. And we mostly had, like, people in our classes. So that was just definitely, I was like, I needed a change of kind of culture immediately. So when I got to school, I didn't know too much about the history of HBCUs. I just knew that a lot of African Americans went to HBCUs, and they kind of just used that as kind of like a platform to just kind of show how great we are as African Americans. But I really started learning more and more about it, how I started seeing all these different alums, especially Hampton alum. Sorry, I'm a little biased, but that's kind of who they always try to like throw around as the Hampton alum. But seeing them, how they've been impactful in our community and how they've been give back and just show the importance of why you should go to HBCUs. Like Tyrell, Tyrell hit it on the head with our vice president is an HBCU alumnus. So it's just like I'm sorry, backtracking on the outdated thing. There's like no way we kind of could be outdated. It's like kind of we're just reaching, not just reaching the horizon, but we're still on the up. Like, you know what I mean? It's just gonna still show more and more importance of why you need to go to the HBCU. And like one thing I also did learn, oh no, I'm talking a lot, but like becoming a part of my organization as well. I'm part of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated. So when I was learning more and more about my organization, I was just like kind of learning the rich history about it, and so how many African Americans have been prominent in just the upbringing of just the world, not just for us, for African Americans, just but for everyone. And like that just kind of goes a little underappreciated. And the ones that kind of make stuff shake are graduates of HBCU. So yeah, I definitely think this is a place where I definitely think we're in a place where it's just like everyone, we need to start making the popular decision to start going to HBCUs. And yeah.
Absolutely. You guys, okay, so unfortunately, we have run out of time. This is a great conversation.
Oh, great.
I know Eric and I actually kind of lost track of time because we were actually really having fun.
Yes.
But we're going to continue the conversation online, on Twitter, on Facebook, because there's another great question in the comment section from Olivia asking about what made you choose an HBCU. So we're going to actually continue this conversation. We're going to take this question and we want you all to answer it for us on Twitter, on Facebook. Keep engaging with us and telling us why you chose an HBCU. And if you see yourself continuing, in your education, whether or not you're going to go to another HBCU, let us know, talk back to us, and let us know how you're feeling.
Absolutely. Just add us at Howard U Chapel, and we will, share your responses. We will stay in connection, and we will, let us all talk about this because it's so important. And our HBCUs produce such excellence as we've seen tonight.
They do. So we have to announce something, the winner of our $25 gift card. I am so excited to announce to you that the person who's won the card is Yasmin Northern with her answer for Dean Bernard L. Richardson. That is our Black History Month highlight for today. Yasmin, we will contact you and we will get you that $25 gift card. Just shoot me a text. We'll get it out to you ASAP. We're super excited. Yes, Ms. Davis, it is a stellar Howard alum. So thank you all for joining us tonight. You have been an amazing audience. Questions, comments, you guys are amazing. I cannot wait to, again, continue this conversation and keep asking these questions on Twitter, on Facebook. Thank you to all these amazing students. Thank you to the chapel assistants.
Thank you.
Chapel assistants take over. You all make my day. I just love seeing chapel assistants. You all are amazing. Howard students. Perfect. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Jordan Ray, for visiting us all the way from Hampton. Thank you, Mr. Hampton. Thank you, Hampton, for letting us have him. We couldn't do it without you. We're so appreciative.
I thank you guys. Thank you for the opportunity.
Oh, no problem.
Yeah, we are so excited that you were able to come with us and talk with us tonight. And we're just so thankful for the Office of the Dean of the Chapel for providing us the opportunity in this space to talk with you all, especially Dean Bernard L. Richardson, who continues to, support our students and support our student body. We just are excited. And I think that's a good place for us to end, to wrap.
It is. We've had a great night. Sign up for ASB. If you haven't already, hit us up on Twitter and Facebook. We're about to drop the questions. We'll see you in a minute, and we'll see you in 2 more weeks for another installment of Communal Conversations.
Absolutely. So thank you all. Bye, everyone. Have a great night.